Just waiting 1 second here. I think it's all happening. Hey there guys, I'm Jesse Crow, the traveling scientist, here in quarantine in Perth, Australia. I've just gotten back from Canada and I'm trapped in a hotel room here for 2 weeks. So I thought while I'm here, I'm gonna go live every day at the same time, 11 o'clock Western Australian time, 1 p.m. East Australian time, and 8 p.m. if you're over in Canada or the West Coast of Canada and America. Going live every single day, telling some stories, answering some questions, and just talking rubbish because I have got nothing better to do. So thanks so much for joining me here. Hey, Mags. Couple of other buddies there. Hey guys, how we doing? So yesterday I told my story about how I went from traveling from Canada, from Revelstoke, little town in Canada, all the way back to Australia during a global pandemic. It was a hell of an adventure. I did a handstand, it was good fun. You can still check that video out, it's on YouTube. For some reason, my Instagram version deleted itself, so hopefully that doesn't happen today. Hi Odley, how you doing? One of my Canadian buddies. Anyway, today I'm going to be telling the story of how I got to where I am today. Why did I go from working as a scientist in a laboratory, doing the 9 to 5, doing cool sciencey things, they weren't so cool, to traveling. I quit my job and started traveling the world, ended up spending way more time than I expected in Canada. Today I want to tell the story of how it all began. And I'm going to do that in a second, but first I want to give a little shout out to my cousin Eli, who probably isn't watching right now, but he better watch later because yesterday he sent me a message and said, Jesse, you should do a little Canadian review. Talk about some food or some drinks that you had over in Canada. And so I want to give a couple of special mentions to my favorite Canadian snack, pickled chips. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried these before. It might sound a little bit weird. They're just like chips, but they're pickly. And that sounds gross. And when I saw them, I was like, pickled chips, that's messed up. I want to try that. And I tried it and I was like, that tastes weird. I want more. And I ended up becoming completely addicted to these chips. So pickled chips, try them out when you're in Canada. And Eli, my favorite beer in Canada was Old Milwaukee. I don't know if you've ever tried Old Mill. It's like a white can with a red label. Super simple, super crappy beer, but they're so easy to crush. So when you're in Canada, eat some pickled chips, drink some Old Milwaukee beers. That's my little review. Thanks so much for mentioning that, Eli. If anybody else wants me to mention something when I'm going live, I'm doing it same time every day for the next couple of weeks while I'm here in quarantine. Send me a message. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Maybe I'll give you a shout out. I want to make this more fun and interactive. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell a little story. Hey, Warren. Yes, Odley loves pickled chips. If you have any favorite Canadian snacks, let us know in the comment section down below. Now, today's story, I want to tell you how I got to where I am, how I went from working as a scientist to traveling the world and getting stuck in Canada. And basically what happened was when I finished university, I completed my honors in science, majoring in microbiology and immunology, and there was a little bit of pharmacology in there as well. And they wanted to know if I wanted to do a PhD. And I said, no, I didn't want to do a PhD. I've spent years studying and I really just want to... Hey Jacob, good to see you, buddy. I really wanted to make some money, right? I've been working, studying for years. I need to make some cash. So I went and got a job as an environmental scientist, working in a laboratory in Melbourne. And I did that for about a year. And it was interesting. I was making about the same amount of money as you would make working as a shelf stacker in a supermarket. No offense to anyone who works in a supermarket. That's awesome. You guys are killing it. But I just studied my ass off and I thought I'd be making good money. I wasn't. Loose Bolton, I was talking about crisps, not chips. You're English. So anyway, I went and got this job, made a bit of money, and it was all right, but I needed to travel. I needed to do some more. And my buddies who worked there said, you've got sick days, paid sick days, and you need to use them or they just disappear. And I have a good work ethic. I don't like just taking sick days if I'm not sick. But they're like, you got to just take a sick day. Take a sick day and go do something. I was like, what should I do? And they were like, go snowboarding. So I hit up my brother, shout out to Jackson Crow, who worked in a snowboard company at the time, and he hooked me up with some gear. I went and visited my buddy Alex Dalziel, shout out to Alex. Alex was living up in Mount Hotham at the time, and he took me under his wing and showed me around the mountain, taught me how to snowboard, and I had such a good time. Snowboarding was incredible. So I took another sick day and kept snowboarding, and then that was it. 2 days on the mountain, and I was like, this is incredible. This is so much better than what I've been doing. Okay, yeah, snowboarding was a lot of fun, and I made the decision there and then that I needed to quit my job and travel. But I still wanted to do science. I wanted to be a scientist, but it's really hard to science and snowboard at the same time. It's pretty complicated. So what could I do? Well, I started by booking a super cheap flight. I found this awesome cheap flight to Czech Republic, which there's no snow there, but I just wanted to go on a trip. So I booked this trip. Then I went and told my boss that I booked the trip. So that essentially was me quitting my job. And that's cool. I was like, yeah, I'll go travel. I'll do science in my own way. I'll start a YouTube channel and talk about science, which I've been doing for about 3 years now. Haven't made many science videos lately. I've been a little bit distracted by snowboarding in Canada and trying to get back to Australia in the middle of a pandemic. There's going to be more science videos coming soon. Don't worry about that. Anyway, I quit my job and started traveling. I did a little Euro trip, and then I came back to Australia. And then I did a little Vietnam trip and rode my motorbike around Vietnam. I've got some YouTube videos about that you can check out. And then I went back to Australia. And then I got my work visa for Canada, planned my trip to go over to Canada. And that was summer at the time. And I wanted to go for the winter. So instead of flying straight to Canada, I flew to LA, and I was like, I'll just explore. And I had no plans. I had an ESTA visa, which would let me into USA. I had a work visa, which would let me into Canada. And I had a couple $1,000s, but I really had no plans. And then next thing you know, I had the beginnings of a YouTube channel and a flight ticket to LA. No plans. So that was pretty much it. That was the start of my adventure. I got a little taste for snowboarding, and I just got a bit carried away. And then from there, I just knew I had to quit and snowboard. And I will probably get back to a science job one day. It might be really soon. Now that I'm back in Australia, it might be a bit further away. I'm not sure. But in the meantime, it's been a hell of an adventure, and I don't regret anything. I'm super glad that I got to go on a big trip around America and Canada, and I'm going to tell you more about that trip in the next few days as I keep going live every day, same time. Feel free to join in, watch along, get involved. But those stories are coming in the future. Let me see if there's anything else I need to tell you guys today. I don't think so. That was just a little story. That was how I ended up quitting my job, traveling the world. It's been good fun. What happens next? I don't really know. But I think tomorrow I'm going to tell the story of what happened when I first landed in America. I had almost no money. I had no plans. And that evolved into a whirlwind adventure over 13 states, 3 months, and then another 2.5 years on top of that. But tomorrow's going to be the start, how it all began in America. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. on the west coast of Australia, 1 p.m. on the east coast of Australia, and 8 p.m. in BC, Canada, and the west coast of USA. Hope you guys are watching along. Leave me a comment or send me a message and let me know what you thought of this live video, if you thought it was really boring, if you thought it was exciting, if you wanted me to tell a specific story or answer a question or give a review like Eli got me to do, just let me know. Send me a message. And that's all. Thanks so much for watching today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. It's called The Traveling Scientist, and I've got live videos coming out every day for the next 2 weeks, and then after that, new science videos every Science Sunday. I think that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the outside if you can get to it. I'm trapped in this room for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, enjoy outside. Give someone a high five for me. I wish I could give high fives. That's all for today, guys, and I will catch you tomorrow, same time. Cheers.